Well, hey, everyone. Wow, that was an amazing video that Greg Burns just put out. I delayed starting because it was going. So that's really amazing. The I think everybody's correct on that too. It's that was really amazing. And there's such a fine line that it's not just the bees. I mean, it's being able to come on here and do live streams with you guys and hey Lee, and we're gonna. It's funny because I don't see any of these streams coming on StreamYard, any of these comments yet. I see them on my channel, but it's great, to be able to fellowship with other beekeepers and talk on the phone and spend time. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, guys, here in the chat, because again, this was impromptu, and I saw where Tim from Southwest Ohio Bees actually did a live as well. So, since the stream team's off, I decided, well, we'll do one. But then when I came inside, I saw that Tim and Greg both had videos scheduled to go at 8. So went ahead and watched those. Watched one. I didn't see Tim's yet. So if you haven't seen, let me see. It's called Varroa Mite Hunting Season OAV treatment from Southwest Ohio Bees and Tim. Go check that out, guys. I think, it's hard to plan when you're going to do something when other people are doing something. So Tim put out a new video, and it's probably a good one. He puts out good content. I wish I was half the editor of videos that, Greg and Brian are. And, heck, a lot of people, I just go, I just put it on mainly with the camera and go. But, look right now, I mean, 16 people in here watching right now, and we're just talking. Please, if you, let me pin this link before it scrolls by. I'll pin the message to the top. So if you want to come join me and talk, it'll make for a longer chat. Lee, you're always welcome. You know how to get in. You got the keys to the car. And, we can talk. We can talk about, what happened in my bee yard today. Raw is my style, I guess. Yeah. I just go live. Like when the colony was swarming, I just pulled out the phone because I knew they could be gone by the time I went in and grabbed the battery and SD card and all that and put it together. Then came back and edited the video and put it up. We'd still be, waiting on that. So sometimes it's just better to go. I understand the quality of my phone sucks, which it shouldn't, because the Samsung's supposed to have good product, but for some reason they still like to, still likes to give me fits. But I went back out. Looks like everybody's in the box now. So it looks like they're going to stay, hopefully. And, they're just going to do what they want to do and stay. And makes better video when it's live. It does if you can see it. If you don't go to YouTube and see all the grainy pixelization of my phone for whatever reason, being in the country or out of Wi-Fi or something like that. But, one day we'll get there. And maybe I just won't be lazy and actually have my GoPro more ready more of the time. That'd probably be the best way to go. But like if you didn't catch the video where I got the bees in the Pro Nuke and the whole Pro Nuke flipped off of the ladder today. Yeah, that was exciting. That didn't get edited out. It was definitely live. But anyway, oh my gosh, thanks, Randy. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. You know, the one thing about this swarm catch that now kind of worries me is that I took the frame of eggs and brood out of the box that had Greg's queen in it. And, you know, I think that was the only frame they had been working on. So hopefully they go ahead and, you know, get it together. Yeah, it's a time thing for sure. Money, yeah, you know, you got to have the camera, I guess. I don't know what camera he uses, but you know, my GoPro does pretty good footage if I use it and it doesn't overheat, it doesn't shut off, and you know all the crazy stuff that happens with GoPros. But yeah, that's great footage that he did. Well, some of you crazy beekeepers jump on the link. Let's go. Let's go. That's the Tom Brady on the car commercial there. Hey, Dan, good to see you again, bud. All right, it's going to be a short video if nobody jumps in here because I don't like talking to chat boxes that much. But I can halfway see them. I need to put my... Yeah, I do. I've got plenty. I've got about 50 colonies outside right now. I just didn't... I've had it where they've left so quick that I've literally just walked off and they've came back. And, you know, I just didn't want to have to downstack anything to... Okay, cool. Cool. So Brian's going to jump in here in a minute. Anybody else want to come in? Feel free. Since I'm taking their time spot up. Looky. Oh, I was trying to add you and you was trying to add you.
What's up?
Which mic do you have on tonight? The good one? The Barry White mic?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Hey, baby. Can
You
you
can
hear me?
hear me now.
What's going on, man?
Oh, racking a little mead and
It looks like you're drinking a little mead.
just a little bit. I got to sample it.
Hey, Jeff, good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, that's some good looking stuff, man. That is nice and clear. Now, is that because you racked it twice?
Yeah.
So the first time you get the little film in the bottom where the yeast is settled to the bottom and you rack it off.
Yeah, you'll still get that film the second time too. It just won't be near as much.
Now, how much volume do you figure you lose in racking it twice?
Out of a half gallon.
That's not bad. That's the second rack or the first one?
Second.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yep. Just an ounce, if that.
How you like me now, Bob? Earl, you know I love you. That's but you know, man, I was messing with that swarm literally from the time I got up to the time I came inside. It was crazy. So it was on a branch that was too high. Not too high for my big ass pole, right?
That's why you got to back the truck up there.
No, not happening. So I got some of the bees down into the pro nuke on the first branch, right? And I was scraping them off and they were staying on the frame and oh crap, I just noticed that. Earl, thank you. I didn't see the notification. It should have notified. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And and I got them down and I did that a couple, 2-3 times. And then I was messing around with the box and I looked back up and I'm like, where the hell are they? They left. They were gone off the branch that I was getting them off of. So I went and sat down in my thinking chair and was looking. I said, well, there they are. They were in a higher branch, right? So I had to literally lift that 30-foot pole up and I wedged it between a low branch near my head and had it leaning up against there. So maybe the scent would bring them over to the comb.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to push the branch trying to wiggle it. And they flew off again, but this time they flew down low, and that's where I did the video with the ladder and then knocking the Pro Nuke off of the ladder with full of bees. That's fun.
At least they come down lower. That way you could manage to reach them better.
Yeah, and I think it might have been the frame, because the frame I had was an old comb, but I had sprayed Swarm Commander on it, just so if they took off, that maybe they would catch that scent or the breeze would blow it and they would get it. But anyway, they came low, and I got them in the box. I'm like, all right, cool. They're in there. Queen's in there. Everything's golden. And came back out a little while later, and they were taking off again. But they weren't taking off. They were leaving that box and landing back on the front of the box. They were just swarmed to the box. They just
maybe they were doing orientation flights, just saying, "Hey, this is our new home. Let's figure out where everything is."
I don't know. It was the hey, the B-Man. The B-Man, hit the link, man. I'd like to have you come in. You've only got like 36,500 subs or something like that, you know. Give us a share on your channel. But you know, it's it was kind of weird. But you know what? I was live. Oh, thanks, Phil. I was live, and there was people in the chat saying, "Hey, try this. Hey, try that." I was able to catch the queen and put her in a roller cage. Right. This time I made sure the plug was in the roller so she couldn't just walk out and fly off like the last time. And I had her in there, and I robbed a frame of eggs, larva, cap brood out of, it was just a medium though, that was in the hive with Greg Burns' queen. So I banged the bees off into the box with the queen. And then I took that frame out and put it over in the swarm colony. So the swarm could, you know, get on there. And you know, I went back out a little while ago. There's bees on the front, bees in the hive. So it looks good. I mean, I did take the black piece off the back. I popped it off with the knife so she can get out.
Oh, but the little bar going across the back of the cage.
The little black plug, you know, the little that you graft to, the grafting plug that goes inside the yellow one that goes inside of the roller cage. So, you know, that's that, I mean, they're in there. So we'll see tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow I'm going up to Charlotte and to Domino Sugar. And going to try to get some barrels pumped full of 2-to-1. Some sucrose, if you will. And we'll see. I'm going to try to get like 15 buckets worth. Which, it's not bad. I mean, if I had a big toad, I would have them fill that thing full, but I don't.
How much you planning on putting out at a time?
Well, it's 2-to-1, so I'm going to dilute it anyway. I'm going to, you know, so every 5-gallon buckets. So to give you an example, for me to make 1-to-1 in a 5-gallon pail costs about $14, right? I'm doing it this way. It's going to cost me $4.
That's a good savings.
So assuming that the price is the same as it was when Dennis went there last time, you know, things are changing in our environment. So
if you're going to dilute it down, so every bucket you get, and you're going to double the bucket.
Yeah. So 15 buckets will make me 30 buckets. All right. So 30 times 5 is what? 150 gallons. That's what it'll make me. And then this time of the year, you guys know that I even dilute those 1-to-1s down again. So that should last.
It's still early in the year. They can handle something pretty thin right now.
Well, they seem to love it.
I mean, at least for our areas, they can handle something thinner right now.
But, you know, I don't know if maybe I need to go ahead and just leave it. I don't know if it's going to be like the Pro Suite. I don't know what the process is. Thanks, Earl. Earl must have got a settlement.
You racking up tonight.
So you know, we're gonna see if it's definitely cheaper. So even if I only do the 1-to-1, You know what I mean? It's still, I'm saving $10 per 5-gallon bucket. So, you know, even if it costs me $50 in gas to get there and get back, I'm still saving money in the long run. A pretty good amount, you know, it might be $7-8 a 5-gallon bucket. But you know, that's the thing. I mean, we don't know. We're just gonna try to no wife got a raise. She's a nurse newly now. She's gonna be mad you're giving me all your money, Earl.
Yeah, well, she don't know won't hurt her.
I appreciate it, but when she looks at that bank statement and says, "Why are you sending money to YouTube?"
I was about to say, well, she don't know won't hurt her, but what she does know might hurt Earl.
And for sure, tell her congratulations on her promotion, on her raise. That's for sure. Man, I can't believe nobody wants to come with us. Castle's going to come in. Castle said he's going to come in. She'll hear us. You're crazy. Good crazy, not bad crazy. Thin it more, Bob. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I've been, you know, the 1/2 to 1 has worked really well. And I was watching that one too on feeding as well. DC, that was a good video. Today's been kind of weird in and out, but tomorrow I've got to go get the sugar. Got to go get it.
You need to get set up, learn more.
Well, if I buy, you know, even if I buy 100 pounds of sugar, what's that? $56, right? 14, yeah. 14, 28, 28, 28, 56. $56 for basically 4 buckets of 1-to-1. I mean, it's a little bit stronger than 1-to-1. And then, you know, if you divide that by 5, that's 11 buckets of, if you divide it by 5, that's 5-gallon buckets, right? So that'll be 11.2 buckets for the same price. No, wait. Nope, that's wrong. Sorry, guys. My math is screwy tonight. $56 divided by 8 is 7 buckets of 2-to-1. Charles.
What's up there, Charlie?
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Same as, you know, still hot up here, that's for sure.
It was, you know, it said it was 80 degrees, 81 degrees today, but it was still hot. Hot. At least it felt hot.
Yeah, it's supposed to, well, the storm or whatever, it went south of Baltimore, so it's supposed to cool things down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So hopefully it will.
Well, it's supposed to get in the mid-60s tonight, overnight, and it says rain is coming. So on my screen right at the moment.
Yeah, we got rained out of work again today, and they talking about tomorrow it's going to be even worse here.
Well, at least if it rains here, that swarm colony will have to stay inside. So we'll see.
Might have to throw a little feed on them then. If they're staying inside, might have to put a jar on them. Or well, you got it in the nuke. You can put the little 20-ounce bottles on it, can't you?
Actually, I've got a 3/4 hole in the top with a jar over it, so I can just fill the jar and flip it upside down. But it's got the that upper entrance from Guardian on the front of it.
Okay.
So it is a little bit confusing to bees that aren't used to going in and out, you know, to get in. But even
at least you got a way to feed them, though, just in case it is raining and they can't get out.
Yeah, I might even throw them a little piece of pollen patty in there because they have nothing right now other than what they brought with them. Charlie, what's going on in your world today?
Oh, not much. I don't know. I just went and spent the afternoon at the patient first a little bit, but a little bit of, I won't say tightness in the chest, but it just felt like there was some tightness around my throat area. So no, it's not chainsaw. It's Sawmill. Don't get me mixed up with somebody else.
Hey, if they mix you up with him and you're getting his subs, though, that's a good thing. because I think Chainsaw Charlie's got quite a bit of stuff.
So anyway, I gotta make an appointment for a cardiology. I was supposed to do that months ago anyway for a stress test.
I need to as well. My blood pressure's been out of control. Even when I was doing the live stream with that swarm catch, I was feeling a little bit lightheaded and dizzy, and didn't really need to be out there. But I wouldn't. No way I was going to leave that in. Leave them out.
Yeah, my brother's had some issues with that, and now he's had open heart surgery and stuff like that. But over the years, I don't know. Maybe it's because the high humidity or something. I'm not really sure. Yeah, there you go.
Banjo Charlie. Is that like Banjo Kazooie? Remember that video game?
No.
I know Charlie won't probably unless his kids played it, because that's how I know it. My kids played it.
I don't remember that one.
But I don't know. I feel fine now, so I think it's more humidity related. And I don't
Delete 2 to 1 to 1
that
to
issue
1.
either, because I'm out in humidity all the time, and I don't really work
You have to wait.
strenuously, as far as really super hard work, because it's too hot to do all that stuff.
You check your blood pressure or anything?
Yeah, it seems to be okay. I mean, yeah, I got plenty of medications. I mean, I got the blood, the cholesterol, the type 2 diabetic medicines, and all that stuff, So,
DC, I haven't stopped smoking.
yeah.
I haven't stopped smoking. My weight is still the same as it's been. So,
Yeah, as far as
what
is it? Cage and Homestead. It's what Danny.
Right.
let it go and check,
Brian.
Mr. Charlie.
Brad.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, I'm getting a check. I'm gonna call the cardiologist and get a stress test and all that stuff. And I do take a heart pill. It's a atrial fib beta blocker or some sort.
Yeah, I'm on. I don't remember.
I'm just waiting for this weekend when it gets cool. I'll put away my my wax melter, solar wax melter. I got I don't know, pretty good sized block of wax out of there this morning. On the last, I put 5 gallons worth of cappings in there, and I think I probably got 2 or 3 pounds of wax out of it.
Speaking of solar wax melters, 30 subs away to the giveaway.
I'll tell you, they work great. I mean, I was not a big believer when I first started beekeeping. I'm like solar. I mean, sunlight. Come on, And it's like, I would think you'd have to have some type of heat, electrical heat, gas heat. But if you get like the days like we've been having, they work wonderful. You can I can put 3 or 4 inches of wax capping deep in the tray that's above it, and give it all day, and it's down. It's already melted and down into the water bucket it flows into, and then you got all that burp or slum gum, as they call it, and
Right.
I mean,
that will melt worth nothing. Then you just got to scrape
I
it
was
out.
watching Gus Mitchell, and he had that big, fancy wax melter and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I understand where he's at it because maybe the amount of his stuff, but that solar wax melter, I mean, you can get about 90% of the junk out of it. Now,
Yep, and then you just clean it off and set it back on there on a paper towel, and it'll get the other.
Yeah, I mean, then I got to do for the wintertime. I do have one of those Man Lake bowls that are electrically heated with a spout on the side, and then I remelt it to that. And that's like you say, with a paper towel, cheesecloth, or something. Then you can get all the real fine impurities out of it.
Or any honey that was left trapped in there.
No, actually, no. The solar wax melter, I have that tub in the bottom where I put the water in there, and then there's always a little bit of honey in there. So I went out there this morning, and I have a box that it's I pour the water into that because they'll like that because it's got honey, kind of in it, and they'll drink the water for just for hydration. And then there is always some honey on the walls of that plastic bucket that goes in the solar wax melter tub, and I just leave it out there. I let them, feed the bees. Let them have it back to them. And I do sell the wax for people who want candle making or lip balm or something like that.
Yeah, I've got my blocks of wax back there still. The
What's the wax go for up there, Charlie?
If it's not super clean, about $6 a pound. I think, yeah, I mean, if it's really clean, probably about $10 a pound, maybe.
Yeah.
and if you go to Michael's, it's $19 a pound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And like better be pretty much all of your bee supplies is wanting about $10 a pound for them. Now the cheapest I found is Ebert honey. If you buy in bulk, you can get it around $8 a pound.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not into. I'll get it clean and then
Clean enough to roll it on some frames.
yeah, good enough for frames or something like that. Or I've done that with it, and then
You know what I found with my solar wax melter is that I'm not as hesitant just to scrape a frame in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You
if
you don't feel like you just wasting it then.
yeah, that yeah, it's more work for them, but with the solar wax melter, you just cut it in there and let it go. Even a cutout, just put it on there. It's going to melt the good stuff out. The shells and cocoons are going to stay in the paper towel or on the little slanted board.
well, what I got is in there, and I got a video on this. Is it shows that this thing? There was a guy came in the mill and he took some of my lumber and he made it, and he was showing it, and I was like, man, I really like that. And
Well, Houston Shelton made a nice homemade one. There's several guys that have made some really nice solar wax melters using like even a paint roller pan.
Yeah,
Like the stainless paint roller pan.
I mean, I had a window out here that was out of like a storm door or screened-in porch storm door, where you put the solid window in for the wintertime and take the screen out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept one of them because we threw the door away. And I mean, right there is perfect. All you got to do is make a box, use that glass for the sun part. And in this one of mine, it's got a steel tray, I guess you would call it. And it kind of funnels down to a hole. And then all we use is, I'm going to say 1/4-inch hardware cloth and just, make an angle, a right angle with it, bend it up and let it lay back towards in that pan pile of wax on in behind it. And it'll filter.
Like a strainer.
Yeah, it just filters the wax. The wax will flow through down into the pan full with water in it. And then all that trash just kind of stays there. And it works great. And I mean,
Misbehaving Tom, 5-gallon bucket around here is going for $200 right now.
Yeah, same here, like 200.
What's that for honey?
5-gallon pail, yeah.
Yeah, 5-gallon.
That's
bucket.
all?
Yep.
That's
Last year here, I think it was 180 or 185 last year.
for 5 gallons of honey.
Last year when I ran out, I was buying 5-gallon pails from other people to make sure my customers had honey.
Now I can get a 55-gallon drum for $1,200.
Well, let's see. You got 60 pounds and 5 gallons.
That's $600. So you can make $400 per 5-gallon pail if you just buy
Yeah, I know.
it.
But were they wholesaling it or something?
Yeah.
Even wholesale is cheap.
That's like $3 and something a pound. Now, if I buy the 55-gallon drum, that's $1,200. You look at that, I think that's right around $1.80 a pound.
Yeah, I mean, I did it last year. I was buying them for $200, bottling them, selling it. By the time I sold it, I was $600 because I was selling it for $10.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to get at. I mean, around
Make
here,
$400 every one you buy if you can sell them all.
yeah, I mean, 600 every 5 gallon. 60 pounds you can get in a 5-gallon beef for $600.
The problem is when you buy it, you don't know if you're getting real dark honey or real light honey or buckwheat honey. You don't know what.
They bury up the road from me. They don't keep their light honey and their dark honey separated. They just mix it all together.
I tried that one time for just an experiment in a just a bottle, and light and dark don't mix too well. I mean, it kind of separates.
Cajun, you're way cheap, bro. Lee's selling it for $9 a pound.
Yeah. Now, Brad, for your question as far as sales slowing down around here, the last couple of weeks I noticed it had slowed down, but a couple of us got to talking and think we figured out what the issue was. School's getting ready to start back. So everybody was out having to buy all the new school uniforms, clothes, or whatever, all the school supplies. So they didn't have all that extra money left over for farmers markets or anything like that. Now, this last weekend, sales did pick back up a little bit.
Well, people will start going. It'll be regular, right? Now, people that went to the flea market or the farmers market on the weekend, now they're not going to Walmart to shop for school clothes,
Yep.
They'll go out. Now, 325 pounds is more than 35 gallons. That's like, no, it's less. Sorry. 325 pounds is like, let's see, 325 divided by 60 is 5.41 gallons. Right? No, no. I'm sorry. That's 5.45 gallon pails.
Yeah.
So 25 gallons, 20 something gallons, 27 gallons maybe.
Well, as far as Cajun Homestead goes, at $15 a quart, I'm getting. I just went back to my spreadsheet.
Matter of fact, Brad, just send all your honey to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sell it for $10 a pound, and we'll split the difference because that quart, I'm getting $30 for here.
I'm getting $27.50
for a quart.
Yeah.
Because see, like the market here, I'm the only one that sells honey. She's the only one that she'll let down there at a time. She won't allow like two people with the same item because then it creates competition.
Well, you've been consistent too, though. You've been there like all the time.
Yeah. Now, if I happen to miss a weekend, I'll let her know ahead of time, and she got another guy that'll come in on the weekends that I'm off.
Yeah, it's like a friend of mine, the guy I help with the bees. There's like a wool festival that goes to like once a year where for sheep and all that stuff. And whoever runs the place, that's, he's got it locked in. He wants him to be there.
He's the honey guy.
He's the honey guy. Yeah. And that's nice. What is that? Vodka?
That's just mead.
Mead.
Oh.
When are you going to send me one of them bottles to etch for you with the Kodiak Farms logo on it?
When I empty this one out.
You're going to mail me the used one? I got you.
I'll mail you a brand new one. I'll just have it done through Amazon.
Now with that style of bottle, that looks like a brandy bottle or whatever.
Pretty much.
That would look sharp being etched. That would really look sharp. Oh, I see.
That one's got a glass skull inside of it.
That's the El Diablo mead, made from spicy honey. We're gonna etch them up. We're gonna try to etch them up.
I don't know if you can see in there.
That's clear, man. That's real clear.
That's stainless steel ice cubes.
Now you need to make some honey champagne and use some champagne yeast to give it the bubbles.
I thought about it. I may try it sooner or later, but I was just trying to get this done for now. Trying to catch up on comments.
Yeah, you definitely. Let's see. I filled all my bottles today. I still have 3 or 4 gallons left. I was considering grabbing a 5-gallon bucket since what I have has been selling. Might as well be my hustle. Hey, I did that last year, and I sold so many buckets of honey, guys. Nobody else had honey, and I was buying them. I'm like, well, hell, if I'm making $400 every time, that's how, guys, a lot of that is how I paid for the queens that I flipped to make my queens too. So, well, you're on vacation, man. We wouldn't hold it. Hey, show him your mead you made, Lee. Says he just came in. That's some nice looking mead. Nice and clear.
Yeah, he's supposed to be sending me 2 bottles when he gets back off vacation.
And hey, Mark, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, Mark, make sure you check your email. I sent you a message earlier.
That's true. You could buy a hive with every bucket you sell. And that probably would have been the best way for me to go this year. I would have had more honey production colonies, maybe. there's lots of ways, guys. I mean, if you haven't seen my Beaconomics video from earlier in the year, go back and check that out, because I kind of explained how I looked at this year and doing it. I didn't make that much honey this year, guys. I only made like 200 pounds as of yet. Now we get a decent fall flow here sometimes, so we might get some more, but that's how I funded buying queens in bulk, which helped me get my queens and helped me make nukes with mated queens and sell nukes and sell queens. And so it was a whole thing. So it was a pretty good time.
Yeah. Now the one thing that I see some people do is they'll take and bottle everything up in bottles. And I'm like, I did that the first year. And I found you need to learn to what sells and track it. And 1 and 2 pounder bottles seem to sell for me. And then I got into 3 pound stuff, and that sells not as quick, but there still sells. And then you had the first year or two, they don't know who you are. They don't know what kind of quality honey that you have. So I sold a lot of 8-ounce bears, tremendous amount of 8-ounce bears. And then after that, it started tapering down, because then they knew what the honey tasted like. And then they were saying, oh, we don't want 8-ounce. We want 1s and 2s.
The bigger ones.
They want the big stuff.
Well,
8-ounce is $5, and it's cheap enough. We'll test you out, type of thing.
Well, see, that's how I did. I did really a 5, a 10, and a $15. So I had a half pint or a half pound, a pound, and then a pound and a half. And that way I could mix stuff up. Well, you want $30 worth of honey, you can get 3 of these or 2 of these,
right?
Or 6 of these, or however you want to do it. Yeah, Mike, we did it again because Castle and those guys were off tonight, and it's been one of those days where I was out catching swarmy bees all day, and came back in and asked people if they wanted to go live tonight, and the majority of the people said yes. So
we had a ball last night, I thought. At least I
did.
did.
We're joking and cutting up all.
I had a great time.
I gotta have a lot of fun.
Well, that's the whole thing. There's really 2 sides of this, right? For the YouTube, half of it is the beekeeping stuff. The other half is talking with other beekeepers and interacting with the other beekeepers.
Community and the fellowship.
How many Varroa mite videos can you watch? How many cutout videos can you watch? It's all out there. It's out there in YouTube already. So we try to integrate what we have going on. And yeah, me too, Mort. I'm leaning away from, I've got a couple of them. I've got a couple of these left, these little jars. And some people, believe it or not, like they'll have 20, like $20, and they want a pint, right? But sometimes they'll say, well, give me a 5 and a 15. Well, now I got 20, to give them. Or, the 10 pounder or the 1 pounder is not.
Well, it's like the little 8-ounce bears. I mean, the reason I still sell them, because I had to buy a case of them. The case holds 500, and it's forever.
These bears?
Similar to that, yeah, for the flip tops.
Yeah,
I bought some of the 8-ounce jars, but I never did use them. The only ones that I was selling at the market was either 12-ounce or 16-ounce. And I mean, I sold quite a number of the 12 ounces, but I just kind of changed everything over into the 16. I got the 16 glass jar and then the 16 squeeze.
So
I got the 2 plastic. I got the 1 pounders and the 2 pounders, and I track what size. I track all the sales as far as what jars are selling and all that stuff. And 1s and 2s are my number 1 sellers. And then sometimes the bear, I don't know. I was here lately. The bears have took off.
The only thing I use the bears for is my hot honey right now.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll have somebody ask me, do I have a bigger container? So I'm thinking about getting at least a couple cases to have on hand just in case somebody wants one.
That's when you say,
Yeah.
well, how much honey do you want?
Well, I got one guy was actually my number 3B yard. He called me today. He's wanting at least a gallon, but he wants it in basically just individual jars, what a gallon's worth. And he's sending somewhere up north to some people he knows.
Right.
I've got a friend of mine that uses pint jars, and I keep telling him his marketing sucks, but he doesn't listen to me. So he's got a pint jar, but he's selling it by weight, right? So he'll tear out a pint jar and then put a pound in it. The problem is it looks like somebody's been eating out of it already, because it's missing a bunch of space at the top.
Well, you remember my buddy Ty Kent that come in on here for a little while. That's what he was doing. He was taking the pint jars and putting a pound in it, but it was just looking like it was empty.
Yeah, so
he changed that up. Here, Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, some places that self-serve would go real well, I think. I would be hesitant to do it where I live because I have so much foot traffic up and down the road that, people that don't have cars that are just walking up and down the street, I'd be afraid I'd get ripped off, to be honest with you, out here. And I thought about even putting out like a honey vending machine out there, but then it was like, yeah, but I'll get ripped off in that. They'll probably break it and try to steal the money out of it, or something. So, people that buy my honey all the time, they'll come up and just honk the horn, or they'll text me and say, hey,
Right.
to a video. Honey by Debbie Delaney.
I think Bob's freezing up there.
Yeah.
I'm freezing up?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Doesn't seem like it in StreamYard.
On this end, you are.
Oh yeah, I see that over on YouTube on the tuber. So, oh well, I'm freezing up over there. But the it's crazy that like right now, I'm starting to get these late season swarms, and I just went through all my colonies and saw no swarm cells.
Yeah, but
That would indicate
how much brood and stuff you got? How packed are they?
they're not. I mean, they're not real packed. I mean, most of them have extra space on them, so it's unusual.
Now, is it coming out of the 10 framers or the 5s?
I haven't been able to tell where they've come from. I just come out and they're in the tree, and then I have to grab them out of the tree. Yeah, I don't like the Honeygate thing on the 5-gallon pail. There's plenty of cheaper options. I mean, if you don't want one that's heated for like $100 and something bucks, you can get a non-heated bottling tank and put a valve on it. I know License got several of them that are in the $100 to $200 range, I think, that are unheated.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to run on out of here. I'm going to leave y'all to it. They're hollering for me to come eat.
Time to eat.
Yeah. But hope everybody has a good night, and I'll catch y'all on another one.
All right, Lee.
All right.
We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Oh, before I want you to save me a pound of that. What's the kind of honey you got, Lee?
The tallow?
Tallow, yeah.
All right. Let me see if I got your address already.
Well, just wait. Bring it up Hive Life.
Okay.
But yeah, you have what, tallow honey, and what else is it?
Privet, but I'm out of the privet right now.
All right,
I just sold the last bottle.
What that tallow stuff tastes like.
See, Mark?
All right, I'll bring you some.
Mark said, Bob, keep up the lives during the day. Makes me feel good about how my day's going. Remember, Mama said there'll be days like this. That's true. That's true. Today was one of those days. And, tomorrow, hopefully, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be going to Charlotte. So we're gonna pick up some slurp and see how that goes. All right, Lee. Well, you have a good one, man.
Yep,
And
y'all
we'll
have a
talk
good
to you
one.
later.
God bless.
See ya.
So yeah, today was a swarmy day, man. I was out in the heat, in and out of the suit, trying to catch these bees. I finally caught them. They just didn't want to act right for me today at all. They went from one branch to another branch to another branch, and then got them in the box. I got them in a pro nuke, and then the whole pro nuke fell off the ladder, and then got them back in the pro nuke, and they were on there. So I'm like, well, they're on there. Let me just go ahead and dump them in this double deep, or 5-frame, and I dumped them in there, and I closed them up, and I thought everything was good. And came back out a little while later. They're all on the box, not in the box, but on the box. And they started flying again. So I caught them again. And finally caught the queen and got her caged up and put a frame of brood in there. Hopefully keep them grounded. And it appears to have worked so far. So we'll see tomorrow how that is. But yeah, it's just I'm getting late season swarms, and haven't found any queen cells in the colonies that would alarm me to the fact that they would be wanting to swarm off. I think this now makes 3 or 4 in the last week.
Right.
So we're trying to keep,
like I say, hopefully I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here, so the humidity is going to go down to be in the 80s. It'll be decent to work the highs. I want to kind of recheck them all and check a few nukes that I haven't been into that were pretty big. And then a couple weeks ago, before I went on vacation, I checked all the 10 framers. And they had, I'm running 3 mediums, top medium. When I went in there, I had, I think, 20 frames of sugar water honey that I had in the freezer that came out in the springtime. So I was putting all that back in, figuring they didn't have much, but I had a hard time finding space for it. They were bringing in nectar. Now, where it come from around here, because goldenrod ain't running right now. Clover it's a little bit, but you don't get a lot out of clover. And, the locust and the poplar, all the main flow is completely gone. But I'm like, okay, that's great, because I don't have to feed them in July and August as far as, buying sugar.
right.
And that kind of thing, which saves money. And
I wonder
how
many people we got watching that are near Charlotte, North Carolina, on here right now, or close within an hour or so, because we're going there tomorrow. It's an hour and a half for me. No, I haven't seen any lantern flies here, Todd.
Yeah, they're here, Todd. Friend of mine's got some BB trees in his front yard, and they were just loaded with them things on there. Now he's about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes from my house, closer to Chesapeake Bay, the mouth of the bay. And
they kill bees, those lantern flies, or what?
No, the honeydew that they excrete, they say the bees will suck that up, and make honey out of it, and it tastes like
shit.
No, it kind of tastes like barbecue or something. I forget what it was. Somebody was telling me how it tastes.
Barbecue honey.
Yeah, something like that.
That'll be
Todd, where do you live at? Are you in up around in Maryland?
They poop honeydew. Tree of heaven.
Yeah, I was at another location last year, and the guy had a tree of heaven. I never knew what it was. I mean, it's just a common tree in Central PA.
Okay.
So give me a little more. Give me a town. Lancaster. Are we talking college? State college?
I still can't taste or smell anything. Oh, Sarah, that sucks. The guy I talked to a guy a little while ago. The guy I was talking about with the quart or the pint jars that doesn't fill them up all the way, and says he's 30 miles above TMI or TM. I don't have my eyes on.
I don't know what TM is. TMI.
Sarah start with sour candy. Oh, above Harrisburg.
Yeah, you're not too far. I'm about an hour,
3 Mile Island.
hour and a half from Harrisburg. Yes.
Oh, 3 Mile
Oh, 3
Island.
Mile Island. Okay. Yeah. So does your hives glow in the dark?
Right. Are they glowing in the dark?
Yeah. That's where they had the big nuclear crash back in, what was it, Carter's days or something like that?
Well, if anybody is in the Charlotte, North Carolina area and wants to meet us over there when we're getting those buckets of syrup, bring your buckets. We'll get them all filled up. We'll fill them all up. And I didn't say free, so we'll fill them up. We'll get them filled.
So, are you going to take 55-gallon drums with you?
No, I'm only taking 5. I've taken about 15 5-gallon pails up. That's about, I don't know how much the sugar syrup weighs. That's the problem.
See you later, Houston.
Assuming it's the same as honey or close to it, that's 900 pounds in the back of the truck.
Well, is it better for you with 5-gallon buckets, or would you better off having, let's
If
say,
I had the barrels, it'd probably be better with the barrels, but I don't have the barrels.
See if you can find a tote for $50 like I did, and tell them just to give you 100 gallons or something like that. Figure out what it would be.
So there's Mike. Mike live from Guam. Live from Guam.
You got Mr. Blackie Cat and the Siamese.
Yeah, I don't know where the other ones are, but this one, they're both pissed. They want to go out for a walk.
You just let them out, don't you?
Hey,
well, yeah, I do actually have airlock cat doors for them, so they can even go out at 30 below. But no, I take them for a walk down by the bog.
So Mike turned his hat into a cat, and with the stripes, he looks like the cat in the hat.
No, no, we actually literally all just go for a walk. It's kind of funny.
The Bugman, if you want to send me an email at rwalker2016@gmail.com, then I can try to send you an email when I know closer to what time we're going to be there. But I know it's like 500 Domino Way. It's the Domino Sugar Plant in Charlotte is where we're going to, or factory. That's where we're going to get the syrup.
So how about the Bugman? Won't you just come on?
Yep, load your truck down. We'll get them. We'll fill them all up at the same time, and saving $10 a 5-gallon pail.
Okay, I just realized what Bugman says. Did you say the Bugman lives close to one of you guys?
I'm assuming he lives close to Charlotte.
Okay,
North Carolina. So it's about an hour and a half for me. So I imagine
click the live stream button and come on visit.
Yeah,
come on in. We got the link pinned to the top if anybody wants to join us.
I live by Bob.
Damn, how far do you live from me?
Is that the Bugman and has the little cartoon intro on his channel?
I'm not
sure.
sure.
I think you're thinking of the oh gosh, what's that?
Hey, Mike from Guam. You look a lot like Mike from Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm actually his evil twin. So were you talking about working in the heat today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had some chest issues.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow.
Yeah, I think once this heat breaks, it'll be easier on us old guys.
Yeah. So, Charlie, your heat's going to break. I think tonight you're supposed to get
Friday. Yeah, the storm came through, but luckily the worst of it went south of me.
Okay.
Actually, it didn't even rain here, and tonight was my normal club meeting, and it was our picnic, and I took and postponed it until tomorrow night. So hopefully,
Mike, next year I'm gonna do reapers. I'm gonna grow them.
Oh, reefers. I thought you said reefers. I was going to say you need to stop smoking cigarettes.
No, I can't do reefers in South Carolina yet. It's illegal here still.
So, honestly, if you wanted to screw around with pure heat, I'd probably go with it. But otherwise,
Well, my nephew did a few this year, but he just did enough. He made like hot barbecue sauce and stuff like that.
yeah.
So, and he used some. I guess he made like a hot honey barbecue sauce because he said he used my honey and the Carolina Reaper peppers, and I don't know what he used as.
Bob, post your email, Bob. The Bugman wants you to do that so he can.
Oh, Lisa. So I've come up with a new theme for my ghost pepper honey because it is not lethal hot. So
It's not lethal hot.
no, it's not, because I only have the peppers in there for literally, I think, like 20, 30 hours. But it's so the little placard signs on the shelves at the stores, they say it's the flavor, not the heat.
It's the flavor, not the heat.
Yeah. So
And now you need to make another batch that is like insanely hot that you just.
well, I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to do the same thing, except I have a name for that too. It's called Happy Death.
Happy Death.
Happy Death honey, yeah. And it's exactly the same recipe, except that you're leaving them in there for about a week and holding them at, I don't like doing this. I know you guys don't either, but I hold it about at 85, 90 degrees. So
Even, oh gosh, it's so sticky. So even as thin as this is, I mean, this thing, has been great to put on like chicken nuggets and chicken fingers and stuff like that. You see, I've already hit off over
that. Yeah.
And it hasn't, the taste hasn't diminished. The heat hasn't diminished. None of that. No fermentation, nothing. And I don't know if it's something to do with the peppers that is stopping the fermentation.
Okay, so the question there would be, does capsaicin stop yeast? Basically, if somebody wants to do a search on that.
But the temperature, maybe the temperature, because I know when you're brewing, if you keep it below a certain temperature, the yeast or the fermentation process stops.
Oh, yeah. But are you keeping it in the refrigerator?
No.
Well, what the hell's your point, Bob?
But my house is like 70 degrees, so I don't know what the
temperature is, dude. No, I slow ferment some wines at 70 degrees, usually.
But the problem I have with these bears, it does have the snap top on it, but the little insert does not stick to the lid like the honey ones do.
Okay. Say,
smells
your
good.
bottling tank, I can't remember. Do you have a heater band around that?
Me? No, mine's heated.
It is heated. So I really thought about this for a while, and I thought, okay, I know exactly how to help Bob out here, so your stuff doesn't get watery.
Just put it in there and let it evaporate the moisture out of it in the tank. But that would actually require me to do more at one time.
Yeah.
Because if I just put a gallon in there, it's going to be like near the bottom and kind of crazy.
But you know something, the reception that I've got for it has just been phenomenal. I mean, I just...
Oh, everybody that's tasted it loves it.
Well, see, there's a pepper for it. So, yeah, munchies need all the honey, have to come back for more.
It's insane how much honey I've got now. I mean, not only mine, just people giving me honey and, hey, try my honey.
That's kind of funny. What does Earl have there, Casey? 2 chilies and 2 ghosts. Okay, that's his pepper recipe. Hey, Rick, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Unmute.
Look at the females trying to defile the chat with all the.
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing
over there? Do.
Man, Rick, I wish we could figure out why the heck you're getting the feedback there, because I'd love to have you on live all the time, but
Yeah, that's why I put it on mute, so you guys can't hear the feedback.
Yeah. No, I greatly appreciate that.
Hey, Dennis, we're still a go for tomorrow, right?
Doobie honey learn more?
Doobie doo honey. Instead of honeydew, doobie doo, or doobie
Dennis
honey.
Lentz. Hey, where
I
does
wonder if
Dennis live?
Dennis lives in Rock Hill. So it's Rock Hill, South Carolina is right on the border of South Carolina and North Carolina. So as I'm going up there, I'm going to get Dennis, and then we're going to Domino. We're going to load some buckets up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
hey,
I might have
Rick, what's the moisture level in that? Sorry to interrupt.
I checked. It was 20%. It's right at 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
That's the highest that I've seen this year. Lee had some 19 and a half.
Yeah. Wow.
And Lee didn't
that's
feed.
really-
That was just the moisture that was in there. But I think he dehydrated it or something,
Okay.
put it fans over it or something to
Huh.
evaporate it out.
Most of it
Yeah.
wasn't capped, but I took it anyway.
Are you going to try to dry it, Rick?
No, I didn't get much honey because I don't have many bees. I'm hoping next year I'm going to start doubling them and
Okay.
try to increase them and try to get more honey next year. But this is basically all I got. But I do have another hive out there. I need to go through and move them over to a different hive or move them to a different box. And I'm going to film that and try to film that for you guys.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to use that. You remember, Bob, that ice cream hive I was talking about.
Right. That's the Chinese apame.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that, Rick. Yeah.
Is that, I mean, how's that doing for you over the summer, Rick?
What, the hive?
Yeah, the hive, as far as like heat, bearding and all that.
Well, I haven't got any bees in that particular hive, but in the hive that I have the bees in, I want to move over to that hive. They have been bearding some. It's actually a very prominent hive, but that's why I got to get them moved over because I don't have anything to put on top of it for the winter, and I don't have any feeders for it. It's only 8-frame hive I have. I want to move them over to the 10-frame so that I got everything I need to feed them and stuff.
Right. What I did last year, if I didn't have a feeder in them, which most of them I didn't put frame feeders in last year, I just made a feed ring and then put the sugar brick on top of them, and it was perfect for down here. Now I don't get that much snow like you do, so
I could always go with camp whatever method, if I wanted to. Or even
mountain camp.
Yeah, we just put the sugar granules on top, piece of paper towel or something, and
you can definitely do that. I'm gonna do something a little different here. This Hive Life fondant that everybody's been using, and if I recall right, it actually has thymol in it. I mean, aside from whatever.
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think it does.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that I might do that, or I was thinking about stopping at a local bakery here and just buying a bunch of fondant and put in there.
You can buy it at Walmart too.
Yeah.
That Hive Life stuff, I've already got mine. I bought it in the spring. I bought it back in the spring when shipping prices were still reasonable.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Rick. I really appreciate you sharing that. And by the way, Bob, I've been our Walmart in our little town over here. I try to make it a point every time I go in there to see if they have any buckets. They'll sell the buckets for $3. And,
the buckets?
Yeah.
You can get them from Firehouse Subs too for like $3, and all the $3 goes to the Firefighters Association.
Yeah. So the buckets that Lee suggested that I order, we kind of did that, but I figured what the heck, as long as I'm in town, if Walmart will sell the buckets, then I'll pick them up. you know, for like $3 a bucket. I mean, you know, come on, why not? So
A lot of the like even your grocery stores, like they'll just give them to you if you ask them to save them, like a local store in the bakery department. But sometimes they only use like 2.5 gallon ones.
yeah, so they actually have a pretty the bakery and they make a lot of custom cakes in Forest Lake here. So Galloway Lights, where are
Frank!
you?
Oh, crud.
No, we can hear you.
It's just really thin.
I'm here. I just can't find you.
Oh no,
These are fun.
I'm in Guam.
He's in Guam.
Say, Charlie, before I forget here, I talked to cousin Eric out in Gaithersburg out there, and he was on the Chesapeake last weekend, and they had a glut of crabs, and the crabs dropped from $34 a pound to $24 a pound.
Going down.
Yeah, it went down. They just have a glut right now, and I don't know if they're blue crab or what those crab. You know what they kind of.
Yeah, they're considered a blue crab. Yes,
Are they really? Okay.
they're blue before you cook them, and when you cook them, then they turn red.
Oh, that's the happiness. Yeah, yeah.
And then and then in Maryland, it's steamed crabs. Now, if you take the crabs down,
Much better.
and this is down south, they boil the crabs down there. That's a different way of cooking. Now, and also in Maryland,
Well,
we have
got the crabs in the Navy. They used to boil their clothes too.
I didn't. I thought you said that didn't work for you, Bob.
Hey, I'm fortunate. I never got them.
Yeah.
So,
So Galloway Lights.
saber-toothed crotch crickets.
I've never met you before. Who are you and where are you?
I'm the guy that watches your YouTubes. You were talking about putting newspaper method that nobody ever heard of before.
Right. But where are you?
I was going to ask you, do you use the current or do you use the local paper?
Actually, I get the Guam Times, and
Times, Guam Daily News.
well, no, that's the leftist one. This is the Guam Nightly News. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a little hard to read. But
Now, which section do they like the best? Is it the news or do they like the sports section?
or the cartoons?
The funny pages.
Come on, man, you didn't see that coming?
Oh my gosh.
Actually,
What's worse than having a lobster on your piano?
a tuna in your fish.
Crabs on your organ.
Oh, okay.
It's on your organ.
Oh, I walked into that one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
We're going downhill fast, guys. Downhill very fast.
What the heck was that REO Speedwagon album that had the picture of the tuna with a tuning fork in its mouth, and the caption it was called "You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish."
You can tune it, but you can't tune a fish.
Yeah, it was a great album too, by the way.
Man.
So, whereabouts are you though?
South Jersey.
South Jersey.
Yeah.
Did you lose a bet?
He's a heating and air man.
Yeah.
Oh, are you really?
It's busy. I watched your stream, but I had to watch it afterwards yesterday when you had the cat on the back of your couch that wasn't a cat.
Yeah.
He's your one fan, Mike.
I know. It's just terrible too. Yeah.
I was happy to see you're streaming now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fun there. It really is. It's kind of good. By the way, I'm actually going to redo that newspaper merge using a proper 3-frame.
Ah.
So I have a
What's
10
an
frame.
improper 3-frame?
Well, so I just took all of them and shoved them in one. Was going to put them in one super. You know what I've even done is I've actually taken a 10-frame super and just suspended 3 frames right in the center with nothing else around and put the newspaper down and God dang it, if that queen doesn't, she just goes down to the lower box once they chew through, so it's kind of funny. But I've got all my 10 frames are all subdivided, so they can either be 3-frame mating nukes or like a pair of 5-frame or 4-frame boxes.
Is your dividers wood or?
Yeah, I use 1/4-inch plywood, and we found that just to work a lot better. If you use that, what's that? I always forget what the hell pegboard's made out of. What do they call that?
MDF.
Yeah, so that wears down after a while, moisture and whatnot. So, I'm at the mill here, at my friend's, and I'm actually using, this is going to sound like complete overkill, and it is, but birch plywood. It's just what we had on hand. So that's.
We know he's got all the money, Mike. He's using that birch.
I wish. Yeah.
So where are you at in South Jersey, Galloway?
In Galloway.
In Galloway?
In Galloway, that's his town, Galloway.
I love it.
Yeah, originally I started the website for Christmas lights, but nobody watches my channel. So one day I put a YouTube about the bees, and I got hit so hard I was like, "What? I didn't know people watch this stuff." So I was hooked.
Me too. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, I watched Bob's. He was doing make the money off the Bitcoin for years and nothing. It's like, what?
Were you really?
I was watching you. I was like, what?
You didn't watch me back then. I know you didn't watch me back then.
No, I went back to.
Oh, what? Hey,
I was. Where you came from?
I was balling back then. Bitcoin.
Actually, okay, that explains Galloway lights then for Christmas lights. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I have absolutely got to find your Christmas light thing. So I have a cabin here that actually ended up buying from the governor's secretary and have been remodeling it over the years. But I have Christmas lights all over the doggone place.
Is that why you had the exercise machine in the back?
Yeah, because of all the candy canes I eat. Yeah.
That's his thigh master back there.
I got this.
So he can get his buns of steel going on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You could put up some generators and generate your own power with that.
Well, that'd be a fun thing to do, but no.
I was trying to do that with the kids, so they could play their video games and get some exercise at the same time. But
I gotta have my grandchildren come over here, and yeah, they might actually do that. I hadn't thought of that.
If you don't exercise, you don't play.
Yeah, something like that. That's a delicious one. Hey,
You see that, Bob?
how are you doing tonight?
If I combine and queen in the spring, would they produce honey next year? I don't see why not.
If I combine and queen,
Like requeen?
I wonder if he's talking about merging two hives and requeening. Larry Moore, go ahead and explain that one, buddy.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, if the colony's strong, they're going to produce honey. It's just how much, that's the question.
Hey,
Right.
Bob,
He's
I
got,
saw your Demeray thing where you had the queen on top, queen on bottom thing.
Yeah.
And I tried it. Mine's just two queens with the empty space between so they can fill with the queen extruder top and bottom.
Right.
I thought it would help super the thing, make it bigger so they make more honey. I'm not getting anything out of them. They're just kind of like hanging out in the top, hanging out in the bottom, and the middle is like no man land.
That makes sense, though, that they're not doing anything. Go ahead, Bob. Sorry.
When I did the Demeray, I did it in the spring, and it's really a swarm prevention technique. As you can tell, I haven't been employing it because my bees have been swarming. But but the thing was that when the box, the bottom box starts getting slammed full and they get honey bound and pollen bound, there's no room for her to lay. And as bees are hatching out, the bees are starting to backfill it right away.
Yes, I have a little of that.
So the idea is you take the queen and you put her down on one frame of drawn comb by herself with, bees, and if there's some brood down there.
You
And
been
then-
in a cage?
No, she goes in a new box on the bottom by herself.
Okay, you don't cage her or nothing.
No,
Just
and then you
queen
put the queen excluder on top of that so she can't get back up. And then you put a couple boxes in between, and then you put another queen excluder and put that original brood box back on top. So the idea is the bees have to work all the way back down to get to her. The only ones that'll stay up top are the ones taking care of that brood that she had in those frames, but they'll hatch out, right? And then they come back, and there's no drawn frames down there, so they'll start to draw that back. They'll start to draw it so she has room to lay. And it worked in principle on my second colony. The first one, it would have worked, like the one I did the videos on, it would have worked had I not robbed the queen cells that they were making and moved them to splits, right? Because basically what I was doing is I left her and the bees to make new comb and everything in the bottom, but the bees that were hatching out that were supposed to carry them over that time, right? Because the bees only have 45 days or so they're going to live. That I was taking all those out and making splits and stuff. So really, it set that colony back. Looking back on it, instead of just letting it go. If I was going to do like 2 double queens, queen in the top, queen in the
That's
bottom,
not
I'd probably put a double screen board in between them.
That's what I was doing. I have a double screen at top, and there's one in the bottom, and a queen in the top, queen on the bottom, and I have a frame in between that they can fill. But they're not really expanding. Like you said, they're starting to backfill in the top, and they're starting to backfill in the bottom. So now I gave them 2 in the bottom, 2 in the top, and 1 in between to see if I can. I want to like make a super hive rather than have a nuke sit on the side doing nothing.
Right. So you got 2 queens laying.
Yep. 2 entrances, top and bottom. But
well, you think they are if the bees can get in between both colonies, with the exception of the queen, they should start trying to pack that thing out. I would imagine.
I'm trying to get like the Georgia big hive thing, but in South Jersey.
Well, me too. I'm trying to do that too, and I haven't. I keep splitting and making more colonies and more colonies, and you know.
Yeah, I figured if I make more colonies, but they're joined together or work together, maybe I can have both worlds, more numbers, and and later on, if they get big enough, split them completely away from each other. But
okay, have you seen Ian Stupler do his Charlie? Correct me if I'm wrong. 6 frame nukes, 3 lined up side by side. Yeah.
That was another method. Maybe it would be easier because you're not moving so many around. Because when you stack them, that's a lot of the disassemble and check. It's like, whoa.
Oh, no. So you're telling me that you have a queen in the bottom with a queen excluder or a double screen board?
Queen extruder on the top of her box, and then we have a community box in between that they share, and then there's another queen extruder, and then there's another queen up there in another box. That way that they can't touch each other and start fighting.
Well,
so basically, he's got 2 colonies on top of each other.
Yep. Now I do have another one where I have the double screen board, and I have a queen on top, queen on bottom, so they can share heat. But right now it's like the 95, so it doesn't really need that. But I do notice that they have a lot of bearding on the top compared to nothing on the bottom. So I'm thinking I can get the heat channel up and out the top.
Well, yeah, that's probably what's going on. But I got to ask, why are you doing this?
Because I'd rather have them work together to try and make their temperatures better. Thought maybe that they would expand faster rather than have a nuke sit in a little box and another smaller colony.
Okay,
try and make them bigger rather than work together.
That's more of a springtime thing. Once your hives are strong, they're fine standalone. I mean, that's not an issue.
And you could always take brood from the stronger box if it's the top one, and move it down to the bottom.
Yeah, equalize them, but don't stack them during the summer. There's no point to it.
You don't think they work together?
No.
That's what I'm finding. It's not doing any better. So.
Well, yeah, you found that out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to produce a lot of honey, I mean, you could do a single brood chamber management. That's what I do, where I use 2 mediums, or you can use it deep, whatever you're running. Put your queen excluder on, put your hunter supers on, and that's your one hive, and then she'll load that bottom up with brood, like Bob says, and then if you got a weak hive over here off to the left or whatever, depending on how many hives you got, you can move that. If it's a deep box, are you running deeps?
Yeah, I'm using deeps, and I try not to mix them around because I have one's got insulation, one doesn't have insulation, one has that new feeder. Thank you, Bob, for that. On the top, trying different methods to see does anything have a better effect than another, and I have total 8 colonies that are different ways to see which one does best.
Speaking of which, how are those feeders working for you?
The feeders, thank you. You brought that up. The lid, there is no lid on it, so when I put the top cover on, it tends to collect a lot of moisture on my cover. So all the air, I don't have an upper vent either. So it kind of goes up there and collects in the top of the cover.
You got a
Yeah.
telescoping lid or a?
Well, it comes with his own lid, or that frame on the feeder.
Right.
It has a wood box, and
Yep.
then you put a regular lid on top of that, and it's collecting water on the top of the lid.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do to stop that from happening. What you need to do is to put
think-
that bubble wrap, aluminum bubble wrap on it.
That's what I'm doing, is one of those political signs on another one to see if that comparably is better, because I have 3 of them to compare. So
Okay.
I've said, all right, Spanky, let some other people talk, because I don't
What
think
are
you
you
said
doing
2
there,
words
by
since
the
you've
way?
been in there. Spanky, how you doing over there, brother?
I'm doing okay. Been
How's the
dealing
finger
with
doing?
it's doing all right. I'm waiting on the nail to finish healing now.
You've been been able to get in your colonies or no?
Yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of queen troubles this week. Yeah,
So-
none of the virgin queens made it back. I made about 4 hives together whenever they had the queen cells, and none of them returned from mating flights.
Do you have a lot of dragonflies in your area?
There's some dragonflies, but the European hornets will pick them off. They just stay at the boxes.
Man, that's rough.
Now, is there not some kind of European hornet trap that you can make?
Yeah, I believe there is.
It depends, because if you're hunting for the queens in spring, they're not really going after meat. So they're going after the same resources that your honeybees are going after. So it's really hard to trap the queens in the spring.
I've seen people take like one of these 2-liter bottles and cut the top off of it and flip it upside down with some like sugar water and apple cider vinegar in it. I think it's sugar water. I could be wrong on that. And they can get in, but they can't get back out of the little cone top.
you throw a little meat in there, and it helps get the yellow jackets, because they're a meat eater.
Yeah, but they're not hunting for meat in the spring.
I
got a
haven't
little-
had that much yellow jacket this year. I've seen some bald-faced hornets, but not a lot. Not like I did last year. So I don't know. It's kind of like the ecosystem has changed a bit around here. I see a lot more butterflies since I've started keeping bees. A lot more bald-faced hornets, but not so much of yellow jackets anymore. And I got a lot of dragonflies around here. So
I know Richard Knoll over there in Brittany, France. He had some kind of a trap that really trapped the hell out of them Asian hornets. And I think if you look in your local hardware store, they might have some traps that really do work well.
I tried buying some traps that claimed that they didn't trap bees, and that was the first thing that went to it was bees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
know.
have one right in my back deck that works like crazy. I'm gonna grab it. I'll be right back. I got it at Home Depot.
So
Right.
yeah,
That
But-
soda bottle method got me a lot of honeybees, and the yellow jackets kind of even number, same about each.
caught them both.
Yep.
yeah.
Um,
Now around here they're going after meat, so you can trap with meat and avoid the honeybees altogether.
Yep.
But you're
I put
only
some
getting
chicken.
the workers. You're not getting the queens that are the main problem.
Yeah, and I think it was Barnard Bees we're talking about in one of the videos. Is it in the fall or in the spring that you go after the queens?
The spring.
In the fall, because they're trying to feed up to make it through the winter. I can't leave this in here. This is what. Let's see if I got this thing. Get the light off it. This thing is just unbelievably great, but the soda bottle works just fine. I found this time of year, what I'll do with them is
Does that catch gnats and everything?
this one I have fly bait in it. So there's a lot of flies in there right now, and it stinks. Oh dear Lord, the bait it comes with. But anyways, so I walked into a local liquor store and I asked, "What's the worst beer that you have here?" And they said Keystone, and I put that in, and all the hornets went right for it. And okay, that's really interesting. And then I had a can of McGolden Light and put in there, and then the honeybees came in too. So, just this really crap beer. I don't know. You'd have to find the beer in your area that's just that the honeybees don't like. Hell, you might even be able to put like vinegar in the sugar, not vinegar, just something foul in with the sugar water.
Maybe like
or
a
in the
citrus or
beer.
something.
I don't know. So if you take hummingbird, my hummingbird feeders, there's one that I completely forgot about, and it just started molding and everything in there, and it was off in the corner, and the hornets went nuts for it. It was just crap in there, and they actually pulled the restrictor entrances off to get to it. It
White
was
wine. Todd says white wine will do it.
okay. Okay, well, it's whatever you're going to use. That's great, just as long as it doesn't attract the bees. But otherwise, I heard somebody mention the leader pop bottle leader thing. Those work phenomenal too. But just trying to find the bait that you can to do it. But yeah, so if you want to reduce the population in your area, you want to be trapping them now until they don't fly anymore. Just go nuts, because now is when you try to. Richard Knoll in Brittany, France, did an interesting thing about that. He was explaining that go after all of them in the fall hard, because those are the queens that are looking to feed up to overwinter and then make a nest. So I'm gonna go put this outside.
Hey, Mike, does that have a way to keep the rain out of it?
This one actually has a goofy little lid on it. I put them underneath an eave. So
Okay, I see it. Yeah, because the soda bottles, I had water coming from the rain
fill up
filling
the
it
water.
up.
Yeah, that trap that Mike or Richard had over in France, it had some kind of a
yeah.
cover over it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Hey, I want to talk more about that guy there in Jersey, I think, New Jersey, and he's got honey super on top of the queen excluder, and then he's got another queen excluder, and I think you're asking Italian bees to do something they don't do. They don't go and store honey below them. They store honey above them. Because in North America, your bees are going to store honey above, because that's what they do in the winter. They always work their way up for warmth, and that's where the honey is. That's why I think if you want to go with that double stack the way you're doing it, you might want to go with a Russian queen on top, because they put their honey down below.
You're kidding.
You think the Russian bees know they're not in Russia anymore and that they're in the States, and
That's
or
crazy.
the Italian bees, and they flip around?
I don't know, man.
Because bees are not indigenous to North America, so it's like
I have to have 10 hives so I can do another trial.
Yeah. No, it definitely works in the spring, but what they'll do is, I found it from Black Mountain Honey, right? And he's in Wales. So when he did it, when he flipped them around, he goes through, after 1 week, he goes through and he dispatches all of the queen cells that they're making up top. So that colony combines back with the queen laying in the bottom. Now, I have seen other people that do that. They flip it around, and then they do make a second queen up top, and then they take that whole colony and make it, transplant it into another box and move it somewhere.
My plan is to work this all through winter and see if it has any better effect.
Well, I mean, they would definitely share the warmth.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people do it with resource colonies, right? I think who's it, Randy Oliver or somebody does it, where he runs colonies side by side with the queens in separate boxes, but they're sharing the honey and resources up top.
Yes.
The thing is that you got to watch, because everybody that I've seen tells you to take the queen excluders out, because if you don't take the queen excluder out, then when the bees move up, the cluster moves up, the queen can't. She's stuck in the bottom box, and then she'll die, right?
Oh, jeez.
So that's kind of
that will happen.
That's the other side of that coin. So especially where you're at, where it gets really cold.
Now I'm going to be like Mike, who drilled a hole in the top of his hive and found all those drones caught in there.
That was just absolutely black. And I got to thinking about that, and I realized that those drones have been up there for 2.5, 3 months.
Eating all your honey.
You made me feel better. I'm not the only one. Yoo-hoo.
Hey, I did it too. I mean, that's one thing with my videos, with the lives. I don't edit anything out. Even when I record it, I don't edit it. If I screw something up, you're gonna see it, right? Like when I knocked that
He's froze.
a pro nuke, and then it falls off of the ladder today, and bees are flying out. Yeah, I did. It was
Yeah,
on.
that happened.
I did it on a live, knocked it over, and bees were everywhere. But you know what? The queen lived. I ended up recapturing them. They went back to the nuke. Everything was great. And now they're in a colony. Now, whether they'll stay, we'll find out tomorrow.
Raise your hand. How many of you hit your hive with a lawnmower yet and knocked it over?
I haven't knocked it over with lawnmower. Sarah's husband did.
Oh, that's right, Sarah. Forgot about that.
I've knocked boxes over when I've been checking them. I'll set them down. They fall off the stand or something. It's happened. Hey, Jim.
Uh-oh. Jim's here.
Hey, Lawson's Creek.
That's your what not to do.
Yeah, hey, it's real easy for if you're editing video to cut all the bad stuff out and make it look like you're this total 100% professional. Everything goes perfect. You do everything right. And that's not how it is.
That'll be a 5-day edit.
Yeah, no. I'm not that good at editing to begin with, but it's like, if people want to get it, that's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen to you. Something crazy, right?
And then they're going to stop by and see you, Bob, and you'll find out the real you.
The real me. Hey, you pretty much get the same thing I'm on the videos,
Oh, man.
So you don't clean up your yard just for the attenders?
I did when the news came. When the news came, I cleaned the yard up. But, not that much. I mean, I still had my boxes all stacked back there and my nukes in the front, So it just was what it was, But I did mow around the colonies and weed eat to make it look a little bit nicer. But
when my wife starts ragging on me, I say, hey, look at Bob. He does it that way.
Hey, I bet you it's more like that than not like that, I would assume. I don't have storage. That's my thing. I don't have like a storage shed or anything to put my stuff in.
Hey, you know what I was doing with my hive boxes that I don't have used? Instead of carrying and put them away, I put them right on top of the top inner cover, and I just stack them on top of there and put the lid on top, and they're up there ready when I need them because I'm tired of carrying things around.
No, that'll do it. The
only problem is when you go in the colony, then you got to unstack all the crap to.
Yeah, but I'm trying to keep my wife off of my case.
But what I have found is you can take that empty box and set it down, and it makes a great stand for your next box you're pulling off.
Walk up the hives like a ladder.
Yeah.
So
I sit on one of mine. That's how I get up there.
So Galloway, how much yard space do you have?
It's 5 acres, but I'm only allowed to have this small section. My wife
Okay,
says
do you have
the
a
rest is
fence
hers.
anywhere?
What's that?
Like a wood fence anyplace?
I have one in the front yard so people will stop complaining about my stuff. I have a lot of people that don't like my decor.
They don't like your decor?
No. I used to have all my air conditioners, a different style, staged around, and like, this is this style, this style. And they're like, what's that? I said, it's artwork. And they're like, no, we don't want that.
5 Hives bees up here in Washington had a truckload of hives stolen. Oh.
Yeah, do you see that? They threw them on the side of the road. Took the vehicle.
That sucks.
They smashed everything.
I saw one of Don the Fat Bee Man. I don't know how old it was, but he had someone come and spray colonies in his front yard. Nukes. They came through with pesticide and sprayed the hives.
They have a vengeance.
Luckily, I don't have any neighbors like that. I guess I might if my bees start swarming into their eaves and stuff like that. But
I'm hoping my bees get that big and start swimming.
They will before they don't even have to be that big, and they'll take off. but they might swarm all the way back to Russia.
Not my bees. They're Italian.
Because they don't
Ask
know.
him to bring some really good sausage back.
Yeah, they'll bring us some vodka. If your bees show up with vodka, you know they're Russian.
Yeah, I think they're going to have wine.
So, Rick, you must not like your
That's
neighbors.
If you see his front yard, dude, you understand why I don't like my neighbor.
We got to get some video from the outside. I got to see this.
You would not believe it. You wouldn't believe it.
Now, my front yard doesn't look that bad. The side yard where the bees are, okay, and the backyard, okay, I'll give you that.
Is your
But the
front
front-
yard when you sit your truck out there with a tailgate down? Is that your front yard?
Yep, that's my
Yeah,
front yard.
that's very clean.
So I try. Well, other than like most of the year is covered with leaves, so that I can't get up from that ginormous oak tree I've got in my front yard. But that's the biggest thing is just getting all the leaves up. And then when you do, if I've got it nice around my bushes or whatever, and you know, then my chickens come under the bushes and kick all the leaves out from underneath them. So it's like, yeah, don't win, whatever.
They
And
mulch
plus-
it. They mulch it for you.
I clean the ditch out, right? I'll walk through there with a trash bag and clean the irrigation ditch in front, and I'll come back a few days later, and people going down the street have thrown beer cans or whatever in the ditch.
Put a big bullseye with a hole in the center and say, "Hit me." And then
Yeah. Here, free trash can. Dump your trash here and not in the yard. I got enough trash in the yard. Put yours
Just,
here.
just dump them over at this guy's front yard. You wouldn't be able to tell if it was your trash or his trash. We have so much problem with that guy. He's got so much trash in his yard that there's rats that have got taken over. They have infiltrated the internet, and that's the reason why my internet connection last night was crap.
Oh, is that
Because-
what we're doing?
What's
yeah,
that?
get the rat,
Oh,
put him on
yeah.
a stick.
Need
Fry 'em
something. Something to get the rats. Anyway, I had to put a bunch of poison around the house, to keep all the rats out of the house and shit around here. But
Well,
Oh, Rick,
You know,
man,
both
we are so
Dennis
sorry
and
for you,
Steve
buddy.
have been here to my house, and I know Dennis is on because I see him chatting. I don't know if Steve's still here, but was it that junky, guys? Was it that dirty? Be honest. Be honest. Was it that terrible? If they will be, I mean, they'll be honest. Dennis will be honest. Be like, nasty ass.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
It just looks terrible on YouTube.
It's the lighting.
It's the lighting, yeah, the sun. It is because that hot South Carolina lighting keeps me from getting out in the yard for sure. Now in
I
the
can't
fall,
really say I'm much better. I mean, I got a generator sitting here in my front room. I'm rebuilding. It's like an old 1968 generator.
you got a generator in your house rebuilding it?
Sure do.
Hey, wonderful.
That's the garage, right?
No.
I don't have a garage on this house.
That's what I mean. When you don't got it, you got to do what you got to do.
The only surprise was my height.
Oh,
Why
my
you're tall?
gosh.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't look tall in this chair, but I'm about 6'2.5", 6'3",
You
right
beat
now.
me, man.
You see it?
Yes.
No, I see you in your crazy hair.
Look at that.
Oh, cool. Hey, wait a second.
Looks like a regular lawnmower, but sideways.
What's the who's the manufacturer of that, Rick? It's Kohler?
Ford.
Okay.
Yeah, Ford.
Interesting.
Now, is the engine actually a Ford?
No, I think it's a Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's a Briggs and Stratton, but I think it's the generator part.
6'3" all day, Daisy says.
What's that?
Yeah,
What
that's
does
true.
that
I
mean?
did. I got pissed and burned everything that wasn't mine that was in the porch. I threw it out in the burn pile and burned it. But there was okay, so this
Here we
goes
go.
back to Rat-mageddon. Speaking of rats. So here's the
Now
story.
outside, I got old tractors, old Ford tractors. I mean, but it's stuff I like, And I'm
Yeah.
retired now, so I do what I want.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
drill on the
absolutely.
wall. Who has a drill on their wall like that, right, Rick?
I've got so with
I
rat.
got on the other wall over here, dude. I got 2 draw knives, and I got over here. I got a fro. You don't know what that is, but
Nope.
anyway, it's
I do.
So-
something you use to split wood with.
Oh wow.
A throw?
Yeah.
A fro.
Got a
You
long
got to turn that
Long-
camera so we can see it.
with a straight handle, straight up,
Yep.
with a long knife like that, and you hit it.
Oh,
with-
right. Oh, man.
Oh, wow,
I
yeah.
haven't seen one of those in years.
It's like for shingles and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yep.
Keeps your
Yep,
fingers
yep.
out of harm's way.
Well,
That's
you
draw
got
knife.
one and your hand on the hammer.
I got another. Draw
And that
knife.
was like a draw knife, isn't it? You pull
Yeah.
Draw knife's 2 handles coming back at you.
Yeah, and they usually use like a wood, it kind of looks like a rolling pin, a wood critter to
Oh, so you
pound
don't
on the
beat
side
over
of
the
it.
edge? Round it?
So it looks like more like a scythe.
Yeah. So they were talking about the burn pile. So I had the screened-in porch. The whole house is brick, and it had a screened-in porch that was screened in 1960, right? And over the years, literally years, my sisters had been leaving stuff on the porch. So I had this big mass of boxes in the porch. Well, when I ordered my license extractor and all the equipment I ordered, I had to clean that out. And I started cleaning it. And when I started opening boxes, you'd be familiar with these New York City rats up there. I mean, they were not mice, rats. And they were climbing the bricks. And it was, so I didn't want much to do with that. I'm not a rat fan, other than the 80s band. But I grabbed the boxes and started chucking them in my burn pile. And I didn't know what was in them, didn't care what was in them.
You roasted the rats?
Yes, a couple of them did get nuked in the fire. So now I've got a bunch of
Well, you got to watch. YouTube is very sensitive on even talking about that, much less showing it. At least in the U.S. You gotta wait until we're after the 2-hour mark, then you can tell.
Luckily,
they were
knock on
dead.
wood, not many people care about saving rats too much.
They were dead. They had died beforehand.
And
poor
and-
Sean Woods gets demonetized all the time, and all he does is review mousetraps, so you know if you're
oh
buying a
yeah, I
dead
saw
one.
that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, is that the guy that has so many mouse traps a day, every different way?
Yeah, he can't show actual
awesome.
dead, or he can't show them actually dying on
Yeah,
there, or he
releases
gets
them,
like
let them do it again,
demonetized.
right?
Well, we have no rats anymore. I'll just say that they have been dispatched, all of them. And I was taking, the little cardboard cases that like 6 packs of soda or beer would come in. When you buy a case of them, I took that thing, and we did have some that made their way up into the attic, and I took that thing and pull it full of those bait blocks that you can buy at
The green ones?
Tractor Supply, the green ones.
Yeah,
And you
the
can
rat
hear them
candy.
dragging them off and then dropping them and playing with them. And then all of a sudden, silence. And yeah, no more rats. No problem.
You gave him the blood thinner.
We did. We killed them. They were. I won't hesitate. Yeah, we won that war, and got the porch enclosed, so no more rats in the porch. Got all
The thing is, now you
junk
can't
out.
feed a dead carcasses to the chicken.
Well, I'd hate to say that. Oh, did you guys see that video when I went out there at night and the rats were running in the chicken coop and running
that's
through?
right.
The fat
That's
rat.
Yeah, they were coming in there and eating the chicken scratch and stuff off the ground. It was terrible.
I remember the fat rat.
And the fat rat that got stuck in the chicken coop wire,
Oh,
got his head
man.
through and he got halfway through and his ass got stuck and he had to back out and get back in.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Have them
they-
fall on you. Have them
They
fall
had
on you
this
one
way.
time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I went out
I
to
would
the
have got a
barn.
shotgun and started blasting the boxes.
I went out to the barn one time, man. These rats were all because I had chickens out there. This rat was running all over the place, so I kicked this one because it was running behind the door going into the chicken coop. And it knocked one of them off the rafter above me onto my shoulder.
Yeah, and I had them in my brick shed too. They're
Oh,
not in
yeah.
there anymore either.
And a word for the wise, if you are wanting to burn a brush pile and put fuel on it, and you have a hay field nearby that has it in round bales, you may want to wait till they
No.
have the round bales, yeah, put up. Because
Oh,
that
come
rat
on.
will run right out of there on fire under the round bale and catch the whole damn field
Oh,
on
this
fire.
just gets better and better.
Oh, my Lord.
You burned down the farmer's field.
Oh,
Caught the whole field on fire, dude.
Oh my gosh.
oh man.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Oh my god. And the worst thing I've done is we used to dump fuel into like fire ant hills
Oh yeah.
and then light it. But what you gotta kind of gauge how big the actual colony is, because I've done that and lit it and literally stand in a ball of fire when you light the thing
You didn't
because
gotta
of
throw it out
all the
that
little
far, huh?
tubes down and the fumes around you. Yeah, that. Ugh,
You
it's terrible.
should fill it with natural gas and then light a match to see it explode.
And yeah, it's no fun for sure. But got all that stuff taken care of now. But see, the problem is now I've got all my beast shit in there, that I can put in there and still basically walk around, and so it's just as full. Just right now, knock on wood, that the rats can't get in. I could probably use more sleep, but I'm healthy. So yeah, it's been a kind of an eventful year, to say the least.
And this is your second year, Bob?
This is my third year.
Or yeah.
Yeah. But my first year, if you guys watch South Carolina Happy Bees, he's my mentor, right, Sam? And he's old school. So he doesn't buy queens, but he doesn't graft queens. He does mainly walk-away splits, right? So he does these walk-away.
Has he heard of the peppermint trick?
Sam? He's here. I know he's heard of it. I told him. And he's got a bag of peppermints over there.
Okay, I didn't know if your mentor knew about it.
Yeah. I mean, I told him about it. I don't know if he heard about it before back in the day or not. But, the first year I ordered 5 nukes, and I only got 1 because he couldn't produce a number of queens for all the orders that he already had for nukes. So I got 1, and I caught some swarms, and I split them, and I had 15 by the end of the first year. And then the hive beetles came, and I ended up with 4 nukes going over winter.
Wow.
And then out of those 4 nukes, I raised them up last year doing my own splits and stuff, and I had
buying.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't buy any last year.
Okay.
And I got I went into winter with 15.
Wow.
And they were doing good, and I pulled honey in January, right? Everybody saw it on video. I pulled the honey, and it ended up being, we went from 15. I lost 3 after that split because I took all their food, and then it got cold, and so getting started was rough this year. But yeah, Sam's a beast lately. He puts out videos like every day.
No
Every
kidding.
day.
You know that he was talking about the other day about doing the Apame Apagard, and then following up with the oxalic acid.
Yeah, I was talking about having Apivar on the colony and hitting them with oxalic acid at the same time, and I didn't know if it would be too much for them at one time.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now you know it's a show because Charlie's eating.
I Are they two acids? Apamar and oxalic is an acid, right?
Apivar, who knows what's in Apivar? I don't know. I can look it up real quick.
I actually just looked that
I
up
thought it was
about 2 hours ago and I forgot.
Thymol.
No, that's Apagard, the thymol. Apavar is
Yeah.
starts with an S.
Yeah, what is that, Charlie?
Same stuff like in dog collars.
At least Charlie's
Yeah.
not sleeping tonight.
Like flea stuff?
Huh?
Is it like flea stuff?
It's the same principle.
Let's
So-
see if I can find it on Man Lake. They're out of stock. That's a good
I'll
thing.
let you know in just a second here.
So what does it do? Thin their shell?
Amatraz.
What is
Amatraz.
Amatraz? Thank you. Okay.
Castlegard, he came up with it.
Yeah.
Browns, I mean.
Thank you.
So with the Amatraz, well, first thing, I do have a beef with Man Lake because I bought $160 worth of Apivar from them, and they were about to expire.
Yeah.
And now it's saying they're out of stock. So if you order it when it gets back in stock, then you should get a fresh batch in all actuality. But yeah, this is my first year using that. So I put Apivar on, and normally last year I hit them every month, once a month with oxalic acid all year. And then in the fall, I hit them once a week for 3 weeks. And that's what I did. And they did fine. But this year I saw Craig Branch use Apivar. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try that. Of course, I got mine after I watched his video, which didn't give me enough time before our flow started. So I held it till after the flow and then put it on. So we'll see.
It's April Apivar is it like down where you're at being so hot, you can put it on. It won't affect the bees over for heat. And then when you're in there, you should have for what is it? I think it's every 5 frames of bees, 1 strip. And
Is it for every 5 frames of bees or every 5 frames of brood?
bees.
Bees.
Is that
Right.
the one that comes in 2 strips? You can do it 2 at once or do it over
Well, what
2?
I was doing is in a 10 frame box, I put 2. And then if they didn't have, like the top box wasn't all the way full, then I put 1.
But it's where the brood is at. 5 frames of bees and brood. I can
So they have to walk across it to tend to the brood, right?
Yeah, that's the whole idea. They're walking across it and spreading it through the hive that way.
And how does it actually get to the mites? What is it doing to them?
Basically, they rub on it, I guess.
Yeah, it just kills the mites. And mites, I don't know how it actually activates.
Is it like borax where it kind of irritates and makes slashes in their microscopic cuts? And lacerations?
No. This is like a chemical plug or something to them, and why it works for them and not the bees. That's the really question.
Stops
we
their
don't know
breathing
that.
through the skin or something?
Okay, so that's a really common way to kill insects because they put him with the chemical that plugs everything up, so the breathing pores are out. It plugs their pores, but this obviously doesn't do that because then the honeybees wouldn't be able to breathe too. So I've never heard anybody explain how Amatraz works.
I used to be pest control, so extermination was a mystery that I liked.
Oh yeah. No, my neighbors like that too, and he'd go into it, but that's really interesting. It's kind of like, well, I'm sure everybody knows how Amatraz works. Oxalic acid is a whole different thing. After decades of people using it, we still don't know how it kills the beetles. We haven't a clue.
It's kind of like the peppermints. Are they feeding it to the mites and making them not like us, or?
Yeah, no. There's some thought that it actually gets sucked in through their feet, but we don't know that, for certain. And even if it does get sucked in by their feet, what the hell's it doing that's killing them?
Giving them athlete's foot.
Thanks, Spanky.
Yeah.
Just saw
That's
that.
an interesting article that claims that the Amatraz, that it paralyzes the varroa mites and they starve to death.
This is interesting. So it's literally working like ivermectin. That's how ivermectin kills mites. It's actually a paralysis. So humans have mites, animals have mites, whatever. You consume it, and it paralyzes them. They can't feed, so they do starve. So it's basically that's interesting.
So they must have a different nervous system than a bee does.
That must be the case. So
And
it's
It
yeah,
works
that's
on
really crazy.
contact.
Wow. So
Sarah,
I've
when
had
you delete videos, it's going to skew my data. Castle Grounds.
oh man.
Man, I'm
Wrong.
surprised I stayed in the top 3 or 4 last month and the month before, because last month and the month before I really didn't do any videos, hardly.
Who deleted videos?
Sarah.
Why?
She's messing up the data, taking videos down.
Why is she taking them down?
I don't know. I thought about taking some down, and I was like, too lazy. Just let them ride.
I thought about taking the duds out, but
well, the thing is, once you get monetized, and this is going to sound weird, but I still have videos from like Bitcoin days that people watch, and when they go back and watch them, it counts towards my views and my watch time and everything else. So it's I'm still into crypto. I just don't talk about it that much over here.
is it stuff still relevant that you were doing back then?
Yeah, a lot of it is. I've got I've got a thing up right now. Matter of fact, I bought a coin at 52 cents and it's at 70 cents right now. So I'm up 18 cents on per coin on that one. So that's not bad. Let me see what I'm doing on my other one here that I mined. I've got 12,000 of these bad boys, and they're cheap, like less than a penny cheap. Nope, they're not bad. They're at like 4 cents. So I got like $500 in those. So, and I mined
we're
those
going to
with
go
my
to
computer, so I didn't pay anything for them.
I hear we're going to go to a new world economy money or something. Is that going to change things?
Well, I'll tell you what I like about crypto is, yeah, the government can track it a bit when you pull it out, but I can send it anywhere, to anybody, and they don't know until that person pulls it out how much money they've got, where it came from, how you made it, how you got it. It's kind of hard to track. So, yeah, now is not a bad time to get into crypto because it's down. So, if you're interested in that type of thing, and
no, that's really interesting. My only problem with crypto is that EMP. I'm a big hardcore gold fan myself, but you can't.
EMP, yeah, I mean, that would wipe out the computers, right? If it was global, but you can store it in a hard wallet offline, and then when you get internet back, plug it right back in. Good to go.
Yeah. So I'm stuck at the border with Canada. I'm actually just trying to get the hell out of there, and they've locked it down, and there's EMP going out, and I'm trying to bribe the Canadian guard. Do you think he's going to take a little hard wallet, or do you think he's going to take like a gallon of molasses brandy?
Probably the brandy.
All right, I just posted a link to the Honeybee Health Coalition. If you guys want to.
Yeah, what is that?
That
Guide to Varroa Interactive.
Actually, if you copy the whole thing, it's a varroa mite guide. It talks about all the different types of varroa mite medication.
Okay.
And the pros, the cons, when you should, when you shouldn't apply it, and things like that. So it's you can download it. It's PDF, and they actually, if you go to honeybeehealthcoalition.org, there's a whole website of good information there. There's also some videos on how to apply this stuff.
Okay.
And, so I mean, I think I know about it, but I don't know. What are you guys?
No. Thanks for posting that. It's always interesting to read anybody else's description.
Now this is a scientific. It's like the B Lab. I'll put it to you that way, like the Maryland State B Lab.
Yeah.
It's this is sort of part of that organization. They're out. Their main purpose is to help beekeepers, keep their bees alive and all that stuff.
I like paper with dead presidents too. But I
Yeah.
can say that I've earned a lot of dead presidents through crypto. That's all I can say. Over the years.
Good.
Over the
Good. Glad
years.
to hear it.
Well over six figures, I'll say that.
So, Galloway, I got to ask you something here. You have a video up on your site about a picket fence. Where was that picket fence?
That's roadside to keep the people from complaining about my collections.
Okay. I really need to do a video on this. I have basically a 5-foot wood fence over here. And what I've actually built a lean-to out of it, onto it, I should say. And so it's just, and a metal roof on it. And I'm storing all my equipment on that. I put wood pallets down. And boy, I tell you what, if you have a fence and if you want to just have a place to put all of your doggone, boxes.
Yep.
Yeah, it works just so bloody fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So just
yeah. Not everybody looks at your treasures the same way.
No, but then I also put a cedar lattice in front of it. So it's got like a lattice door in front of it, which gives you plenty of ventilation.
Yep.
But yeah, I really should do that because I keep thinking of everybody else doing it. Now I think it's Dick Brickner, Bob Binney's friend down in Florida. He basically does what you're doing a bit, Galloway. He's just stacked up all of his supers out in his backyard, and then he basically puts lids on the top and the bottom. It's down in Florida, for crying out loud. I would have thought it would have screwed with the wax a little bit.
Yep.
But those are all honey supers, so you're not dealing with the wax moths all that much, or the.
They're out in the cold.
Yeah, they don't have the. There's no protein in it for them to eat.
Oh yes, I was just watching that tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Now you're in New Jersey, so I mean, I know kind of what your weather's like there, but what I do is I literally just stack all my hives up or my boxes up so that they're all exposed to.
You crisscross?
No, I don't. I stack them on their sides, and so that the light can penetrate through. So any moths that are going to get it there, they don't want to lay eggs where there's light. And I wait until the first really good hard freeze, and then I put them away.
Keep the mice out the rest of the time.
The what?
When you stack them normally during the cold part, you keep the mice out that time. When they're this way, the air blows through, but you can still get like rodents and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I could, but I mean, I have so many mousers here. That's the least of
like
my
that
worry.
one.
Yeah, he actually is more of a rabbit hunter. Just always funny, but but no, I need to put a video up on that. Because this guy's got to figure out how the heck you store all this stuff, right?
Yep. Especially when you're Bob's size.
That's
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm huge. Yeah, right.
Well, you've pretty much filled that porch up, haven't you, Bob?
What's in the porch right now, I've got the extractor, the uncapping tank, and the uncapper, and then a bunch of boxes of frames, like probably 5 cases of frames out there. Okay. And so yeah, it's pretty and tools. I've got like my table saw and stuff out there. So
that's not a dedicated honey house yet.
No, I don't have anywhere to set my tools out.
You don't have one of the kids' rooms you can convert?
No, that'll be my laser room next.
You don't have a basement?
No, we don't have basements in the South.
You got termites, right, and ants and stuff.
Yeah, we don't have basements here for the most part.
Is your water table pretty high too, like 5 feet?
I don't know what it is here.
When you drill a well, how far do you have to go?
No idea. I've never drilled one.
We got to go at least 100 feet. Our first water is like 40 feet.
I know when I was in Florida, you get 6 feet in the ground, you got water.
Yes. That's why they make all those ponds.
Yeah. And I'm right in between 2 lakes here, so I only go down 18 feet.
You got water.
Yeah, it's not. It's
You
not
got
terrible here.
artesian, Mike?
What's that?
You get artesian?
It's actually part of a shallow karst that actually starts just south of Lake Superior and comes down here, and it's trapped between a whole bunch of different hard pans, clay layers.
So you could actually get artesian where the water starts coming out of the ground if you drill.
I'm killing time here because I was trying to remember if anybody in the area has ever had that happen, and we don't hear if you head towards the St. Croix River, which is a barrier. Then we have them there, but not here. No, we don't have any.
I used to work with a well driller, we had a couple around here, and you have to watch that, blocking them up because the water start coming out somewhere else, and you'll have a house sink.
All right. Dennis says it's 15 to 20 feet here.
Yeah, that'll get you attention back and forth. Hey, Charlie, how do you store all your boxes?
Right in a row.
I do have got one shed here that I put some boxes in, but really, I got some nuke boxes I store away. I don't have that many 10 frame stuff stored away.
Yeah.
And then I have some new stuff I'm painting and whatever in the basement. And then as far as like frames, like honey frames and stuff, I got like 3 freezers. I got 2 big chest freezers, and I've got an old upright that upright freezer. I grabbed it from somebody was passed away or whatever, and they wanted to get rid of it. $75.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take it.
So you take your frames out of the boxes?
No, I take the whole box, stick them in the freezer.
Oh, the whole box.
I don't know whether it really works well with the box and the wood, but that's what I do.
I've never had any problem with that. As far as and I'm talking with 35 below and whatnot. I just don't see it there. Daisy, dude, you've got a 340-foot well. Yeah,
In New York, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, we'll have 150, 200 here.
Yeah, okay. That's making a lot of sense.
We'll have a driller. I think there's a minimum of 125 feet they got to drill.
That's a 2-day drill, isn't it?
It could be, I guess, unless it's a rotary drill or whatever.
Yeah.
Dig down 2 feet here, you end up hitting clay. After the clay, you end up hitting coal.
Yeah. Coal? Oh, that's right.
What are you out in the Poconos?
He's in Indiana.
He's where?
In Indiana by Terre Haute, which is the where's that river? Eel? No, the big one.
Mississippi?
Ohio River? Ohio, Mississippi. Doesn't that come down through St. Louis?
I think, yeah. Mississippi does.
Yeah, it's Mississippi. That's over in St. Louis. Yeah, we're just over here by this river. It's basically no man's land. There was a bunch of stripper pits. There's a bunch of stripper pits where I can catch any freshwater fish, any fish. It's pretty awesome.
But just abandoned
stripper pits there?
Yeah, there's stripper pits. Where
I did not know that.
What's that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they took coal out back in the 50s and 60s.
So they go thousands of feet.
So there's stripper pits around here, and they're cool. They're really cool.
Are they like thousands of feet deep?
No, they're just a few hundred feet deep.
I'm sure your coal doesn't go down that deep then.
No, it's just on the surface, man. I'm saying, like, you dig underneath the topsoil here and you'll hit clay. That's the reason why I live in Clay City. Then underneath the clay is coal. Matter of fact, the high school in town is sitting on a huge ass thing of coal, and they were wanting to come in and take all that coal. But since the Democrats have got in office, They
Yeah.
shut down that whole effort.
Yeah, you don't want to breathe that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we've been on for 2 hours, and it's 10:30 p.m. And
Oh,
you
dear
know, this
Lord,
is
it
kind of
is.
an
Okay.
impromptu thing tonight because the stream team wasn't on, and figured we'd collaborate and see what was going on. But
I hear you, my pretty.
I think we're gonna call it
Yeah, probably a grand thing.
because I got to get up in the morning and make a trip.
Now you're
So
starting to
this-
sound like Lee.
Yeah, I got. Well, I don't have to get up like Lee, but I have to get up and make sure I'm up to go get the syrup in the morning. And I don't know how long this process is going to take. So I know it's
Wait a
an hour and
second.
a half each way.
Okay, an hour and a half. Okay, that's
So-
what I was going to ask her.
And you're doing 5-gallon buckets.
5-gallon buckets, yeah. So I mean, obviously, if they're used to filling up tankers, 5-gallon buckets won't take any time.
So you're
To
not the
fill
Bob.
up.
You're not the Bob Binney drums yet, huh?
That was
No.
the Wabash River. That's what I was thinking of.
Wabash.
Wabash.
Oh, thank you, Rick. Okay.
Maybe we'll see. Who knows? Maybe there's a market for this. Maybe there's a way I can market. Look at Charlie sleeping. Don't wake Charlie up.
No, I'm not. I'm listening.
Good night,
You know what
Charlie.
I'm thinking of it is you need to go to either Northern Supply or Tractor Supply
Bees
and get
you
yourself
have.
about a 50-gallon tank with a pump on it. That's what I would do. Bob's froze again.
There's a place where I can go buy a plastic tank. It's like shit, I don't know. It's like 300 gallons. Probably he's got all
Yeah, you
different
know about
kinds.
it too. That's 250 gallons. Most of them are. I got one of those myself.
Yeah, he has all
Bob's
different.
problem is he don't have a truck big enough to haul something like that.
Yeah, watch you don't get the road crew after you saying you're overweight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's something else to think about.
We used
Yeah.
to do the well drilling, carry your own water, but we got snagged one time and I had to dump it all.
No,
Yeah.
that'll happen.
Yeah, Bob's out. He's
I
going.
love it.
And if I only had half the tank full, it would slosh around, and then it would be unsafe driving. So I had to dump it all.
Yeah. Okay. Where's that? You're running the metal frame?
It was just a water big tank like you do for like
Oh, I know what you're
irrigation
talking about. Yeah.
storage.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was just set
Yeah.
on a dump truck with
Yeah.
straps. And when we went out in nowheres to drill a well, we needed water. We had something because when you need it, when you're drilling, you need it right away.
Yeah. Charlie, are you using the metal exterior frame totes?
Yeah, that's what I have. I bought one here. A guy, well, what do you call it? Got them from somewhere, and washed them out and whatever.
Okay.
And I think that they were also food grade. Whatever was in them was food. And I got it for $50.
What?
Yeah, you can get them for $50 used.
Yeah, there's a guy around here that sells them like for $30. I think they're like probably 100 gallons.
What's that? What's 100 gallons?
They're plastic containers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, $1,500 no.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't get one.
I take that back. I'm not talking now. They're too much.
No, the one I got, it's like 250 gallons. I got about 100 gallons of Pro Sweet in there right now, or 50 gallons, whatever's left.
Okay.
And then what I do as far as like feeding my bees, I went up to Tractor Supply and somebody bought a sprayer and tank. It was 40 gallons and with a pump. And they brought it back, and I bought it for like less than $100. I said, yeah. I said, it was usually a $200 sprayer. And I cut the sprayer nozzle off, put a quarter turn valve with a little spout, and I use that as my sugar water pump. It's got a diaphragm pump, so you can't really load it up with really thick syrup, but I can get close to 2 to 1. It's like 50 pounds of sugar less than what 2 to 1 would. There he's back.
My power blinked out. And everything went off, man. I was like, what the hell? It dimmed on the light, and I looked at it, and then everything started resetting, the printers and all that. So, yeah, I apologize for that.
Up.
You guys had my channel hijacked for a few minutes. You guys could talk about anything.
Did, and I don't know if you caught this, but we renamed it to Martha Stewart Beekeeping.
Martha Stewart Beekeeping. But anyway.
Yeah, Bob and Martha's Bee Corner.
Come back on and then end it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to drive up the Fort Mill, meet Dennis, go into Charlotte, get syrup, bring it back down.
You sound like a moonshiner.
Yeah, need to get some corn.
Pretty much.
Just no alcohol, just the sugar.
Let me see.
Crying out loud.
Well, Bob, the reason why I asked you that question yesterday was because I thought I'd seen a video that Bob, or no, or was it Bob Benny? A video where I thought he was talking about giving them light syrup because it causes more wax growth on the young ones when they feed it to them. I don't know. I thought maybe you've seen it too, and maybe I didn't.
I didn't watch it
last night, Rick. Yeah.
But yeah, I deleted it down this time of year. Primarily, it's giving them water, and it's giving them a little. I mean, the way I'm mixing it is closer to nectar than it is anything, because it's like.
That's why I asked you that question yesterday.
Something like that. So.
Well, that's what he's talking about. You want it like what, 3/4 to 1 or half to 1, which will be like nectar, which they will actually pull more wax that way. But
eat more as compared. I mean, they would rather eat that than honey, is what he said in the video. So
right.
That's
the study that he was looking at was from India, and it went from 1 to 1 to. I think it was like 1-2 water and all the way down to 1-5 water and 1. And it was interesting. His biggest complaint about it was that he wished that they would have done a much thinner to see what it would do. So that was kind of interesting.
So this is a dearth, and you guys are doing wax building right now.
I'm just feeding. If they build wax, that's on them.
Yeah, I'm close to you, Galloway. I'm about probably 2 hours from. You're up there close to Atlantic City.
Yes.
And
you can spit on them.
And anyway, no. As far as wax building now, forget it. We're done.
We're done. Yeah. You just spoiled my whole.
Well, you can always test that theory. You can slap the feet to them and see what they do. They got to store it somewhere.
I mean, you can try it. I mean, but wax building is more preferable in the springtime.
Yeah. So right now they're bringing stuff in. I'm not feeding mine at all right now.
Yeah, same here. I don't know where they're getting it from, but they are.
Yeah.
And I'm
one thing Bob brought up that it was interesting to me, because if you look at Ian Stepler, all he does is feed 2 to 1. That's just all he does. But Bob Benny brought up that finning. Okay, so the beekeepers' year begins in August, right? Okay, so we're doing our mite treatments and whatnot now. Initial mite treatments, at least for the midsummer. And what he was talking about was feeding the bees right now, and letting them slowly build up a really strong brood, so that brood can raise the winter bees, which for like us guys up north is really a big deal. But rather than dumping it all in 2 to 1 towards the end of the year, he was talking about continually feeding once you pull the honey supers off, and let them both stimulate for the brood and actually slowly build up. And I think his reasoning, Rick, jump in here because you got this. I think his reasoning was that then the bees don't have to work as hard right at the end, and those would be the winter bees, trying to convert that 2 to 1 and move that all out and store it. So just continually trickle feeding the doggone things until the boxes are just heavy as shit.
Well, I've noticed when I open feed that I don't have the bearding like I normally do during the day because those
Yeah,
bees actually have something to do. They're not
yeah,
just chilling. You're
yeah.
putting,
Not only that, you're giving them a little fuel so they can just go out and explore.
yeah,
I don't know that for certain, but I'm just making kind of a general assumption
it
on
makes
that.
sense. I mean,
Yeah. So okay, I just put that video up of bucket feeding today. What we were talking about, trickle feeding with buckets, and the other thing to put in there is that I put in just a little bit of chlorine in there, and it eliminates the mold. And believe me, the bees love this stuff. And I've been doing this for years.
Now, where'd you get the
Um,
chlorine without anything in it?
bleach.
Bleach.
Yeah, but all ours has fragrance and all kinds of other stuff
You
in
can
it.
get regular old bleach, just regular
Yeah,
old bleach.
it's generic bleach,
I was looking at
and
Walmart and I couldn't find nothing.
Uh, something you look around. If you can just find, yeah, just straight generic bleach. And if you go, I don't want to screw this up, so I'm going to send you guys to Randy Oliver because and Bob Binney talked about and mixing it too. Um, it's like
One
it's like
spoonful.
it's like a teaspoon a gallon or something like
Yep.
that. But I don't remember exactly what it is. And he brought up something really interesting. I brought this up in my video too, that if you don't think bees like chlorine, you've never been around a swimming pool that has a beehive next to it. I mean, that's just crazy
Yeah, Bob
shit.
Binney said that in his video too.
Yeah, yeah. And so we had a swimming pool. My neighbors, they actually have a house in the land next to the cabin here, and they had one of those inflatable above ground things, and they had all the rocks around it. And the guy that got me into beekeeping, his bees were always all over the rocks, and they never stung anybody. But man, they loved that spill. They just absolutely love that spill. And I think, and I brought this up several times, I think what the chlorine is doing is kind of like if you've ever made wine and you're using Camden tablets to sterilize the solution, and then it off gases after that because the chlorine, once it gets in the honey or the syrup, it only lasts for like umpteen hours, and you still have a smell, but basically it's gone.
That's what they use
Right.
for drinking water.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
bees drink
So
any kind of water. I've noticed.
yeah,
When you
Rusted
get it,
water.
when you get a new well, you dump the bleach down there to get
shocking
rid
the
of
well. Yeah.
all the revert that you used to. It's a what is it? Revert is a starch. It's a starch that helps thicken the water, and that breaks that down, and now the water
No
can
kidding.
flow. Yeah.
I'd never heard of that before.
Some people use a clay, but then clay can start to clog up the field. So in New Jersey, we used a revert, which is a starch.
No kidding. Yeah, so we don't want anything in that syrup aside from just sucrose. We don't. In other words, you don't use powdered sugar with starch in it as an anti-caking thing.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't want to do that because then that's roughage for the bees to consume during the winter.
so my powder sugar sprinkling is
No,
roughage.
no. I've done that a number of times just to see if mice will drop because I got to pull up. But that's okay to do, but you don't want to use it as a feed.
Gotcha.
Towards the
Maybe
end of the year.
maybe that's why they were dancing in the on my one video because it's roughage to them.
I use that super DFM in the fall.
What's that, Rick?
I use that super DFM, I think it is called.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember if that's got the thymol in it. I use the Pro Health just because it's got the thymol in it. But
That Beekeeper's Choice from Blythewood Bee Company has thymol in it as well.
yeah, okay.
I use Hive Alive for that.
Yeah,
but
I think they do too.
That Hive Alive mixture stuff.
Yeah. So this is going to get kind of interesting. So one of the fountains I've gotten back, I am going to put a little bit of bleach in that thing.
Is that the one that trickles down and around and back through? That was empty the other day.
No, this one is like the classic park one.
It has a little fancy thing in the ball on the top.
Yeah, that one. And the reason I haven't done it is because there's some algae that goes up on there. And the bees in the fall, it's really interesting. They seem to like eat that algae, and bring that back right at the end of the year. They're all over that stuff.
Yeah, and Dunn used to do a video. He says they don't like pure water. They like the stuff in it.
Yeah.
Bob, everybody, I'm going to take off now. I'll see you later.
Hey, God
All right,
bless you.
Rick.
We'll
See you
take
later, brother.
care. Okay, brother.
The
Bye-bye.
yeah, I mean, my bees, they drink water out of my wheelbarrow that's got like rust deposits and stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
They'll
Yeah, there's something that they're picking up there. By
That's
the
your
way,
queens?
That's your queen.
oh, hey,
That's-
Spanky.
That's what happens whenever UPS decides they want to hold on to your queen for 3 days.
Oh, I'm
man.
so sorry, brother.
Did they make
the-
good on it? Anybody make good on it for you?
And then the second queen came loose in the box, and I think she got shook up. She died as I was putting her in the hive.
Yep, you get the legs damaged. Oh,
And
man,
so-
I'm so sorry.
They
Is
were
there
were
anybody
nice
that-
enough to send a third queen, and she came nice and healthy, and I stuck her in the hive. But that's just some bad luck.
You know something that happens a lot more than you think. Bob Binney did a thing on that, and I've seen it myself. They can be heat damage to a point, or just getting shake-up so that their legs get damaged. The leg damage is, I think, one of them, but no, you can never, ever, ever get queens better than what you can raise yourself. So, and I'm sorry, buddy, I really am. Especially when you're trying to time something like that to get it in. I'm lucky enough to have a Troy across the lake where I can just go and get like 3 frames and out of a mating nuke and bring back and drop in. God bless him. Kind of doing that. But
UPS loses 70% of all ammo shipments, DC says.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder if he's joking. I've never heard anything like that.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to call it here for tonight. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for the super chats and super stickers. And thanks for Hillbilly Hives for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. Well, not subscribe. Joining
Just hit the star,
the
yeah.
community. Joining the
Yeah.
channel. So,
Yeah, and everybody in the side chat there, Todd, DC, Dennis, Sarah, Lisa,
Grammy.
everybody except for Cajun. He's really not a very nice guy.
he's probably not even there anymore. I haven't seen him comment in a while, but
Yeah.
we definitely appreciate you guys, and I'll try to go live as much as possible, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to try to take my GoPro with me as long as it cooperates, and catch some video of getting the buckets filled at the Domino Sugar Factory.
Watch them
and,
bouncing around in the back of the truck and falling over.
Well, I'm going to hopefully have enough in there to where they don't have much room to move. So,
Jam the brakes and watch them coming into your dash.
right. So, we're going to say $4 for a 5-gallon pail. $4. Yeah, $4 for a 5-gallon pail of 1-to-1. That's pretty good. So, got to do it.
Yeah.
all right, I'm out. I'll see y'all later.
All right, Charlie. We'll see you later, brother.
Bless the bees. Y'all take
Yeah.
care. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you later. Good night.
Bye-bye.